Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. It's been more than a year since we did our last tier list. And here we are again. But today, we're diving into a different kind of tier list, not the usual one you're used to. This is my personal tier list, based on real usage, who I actually use, how often I use them, and where I use them. So this is not theory, this is not just hype, and this is not what looks good only on paper. This is about real battles, real choices, and the heroes that truly make the difference for me. I'm going to rank heroes by class and separate them into 3 categories: Prime, the most used and essential; Rare, situational, but still valuable; and Ignored, the heroes I simply don't use anymore. And as we go through this list, I also want to give proper spotlight to the relics, because relics changed a lot. Some heroes were already strong and just became stronger, while others completely exploded into the meta. And yes, when we talk about the very best relics at level 30, there are some heroes here that stand far above the rest. So let's jump straight into it, starting with the control class. Phobos is a rare hero. He's not used very often, but I still pick him in certain situations where I need to shut down enemy casters. His magic defense debuff, energy burn, and paralysis can help bring down high magic teams quickly. Faceless is also rare. He's great at boosting magic defense, copying ally skills, and tossing an enemy into the middle of the opposing team for disruption. I only use him in offense, never in defense. He's there to do one job, and when he does it, it works. Arachne is rare, even with her relics released. Her whole playstyle is based around stuns, but there are many heroes who do that much better. Still, sometimes I have to use her. Judge is absolutely prime. I use him all the time. His stun, shield, and magic attack combo make him incredibly versatile, perfect for offense and defense alike. Peppy is ignored. I honestly can't remember the last time I used her. She does some magic damage and can blind, but there are far better choices out there. Leanne is a prime hero. She's fantastic in both defense and offense. Her sleep ability is incredibly useful to stall enemies and shift the pace of battle, but she needs support and healing, because she's fragile when left alone. And after her relics were released, she became even better, because they strengthened her control, her charm, and even her damage output. Jorgen is rare. I don't use him as much in defense, but in offense he is still useful in some situations, especially against Satori combos. His energy burn and control help keep dangerous heroes locked down. He's still a great pick against heavy damage dealers. And Vari is an ignored hero for me. I love him, but in defense he's weak, and he only fits certain offensive setups, especially to counter Octavia lines and protect front lines. Outside of that, I don't bring him in. And after Electra was released, he's been sitting down for a while. Polaris is prime. Absolutely top meta, and one of the heroes that completely changed the meta. She breaks Octavia lines, stuns hard enemies, and boosts ally damage by 50%. Easy to build, cost-effective, and incredibly useful against so many combos. I use her all the time. Somna. She's a prime hero, absolutely essential in defense and offense. It's one of those heroes that, if you don't have it, well, start thinking about it right now. And yes, with her relics at level 30, she is definitely a top 5 hero with relics. Now let's move on to the healers class. Thea is ignored. She's helpful early in the game, but later on, when better healers come in, she becomes obsolete. I haven't used her in ages. Marcus is also ignored. His skills seem good on paper, but in battle he just doesn't perform. He can still heal as a ghost after dying, which sounds cool, but I've never found a reason to actually use him. Maybe one day with a rework. Drayne is rare. I don't use him often, but he's on the edge of being prime. His healing aura continues even after death, and he works best in quick battles where a small heal is enough. Not a top tier healer, but definitely a good one. Maya, after rework and relics, is absolutely prime. Defense, offense. The relics and the rework made her an absolute damage dealer in long fights and finally started to make her feel like an actual healer too. Martha is prime. One of the best healers in the game. She shines in long battles where speed and persistence matter. Just make sure she's well protected, and she'll carry your team. Aiden is an ultra prime hero. He heals from the very first second, fits into almost any combo, and has synergy with just about every team I run. Defense or offense, Aiden is the top of the top. Morrigan, unfortunately, is ignored. Sometimes I even forget my baby undead are still in the game. She needs a rework as soon as possible, because Morrigan is one of the icons of eternity. Hoos is a prime pick as well. He's a fantastic buffer and healer, strong in both offense and defense. A total game changer, and absolutely useful in defense and offense, so yes, top meta too. Burner? Well, Burner doesn't need introductions. Completely prime, completely top meta, and maybe top 5 heroes in the game. Burner came and changed everything. Amazing hero, and with relics level 30, absolutely top 5. Let's move on to the warrior class. Galahad is ignored, completely out and completely useless in today's meta. I hope the devs give him a good rework, or he's going to have to ask Drayne if his sword is bored. Ishmael is ignored, completely out of everywhere. Another hero that needs a rework and some love from the devs. Qing Mao is a rare hero. After her rework, she was in the meta for a while, and in Octavia lines she was making a lot of impact. But it didn't last long. So yes, I still use her situationally, but not as much as I would like. Elmir is ignored. His skills look good on paper, but in practice, they fall short. He definitely needs a rework, and maybe some relics too, to see if he can come back from the ashes. Kark is also ignored. Once a top tier hero, but now left behind by the current meta. I used to love him, but I haven't touched him in a long time. Yasmin is absolutely prime. She's a beast. And after her relics, or let's say, her relics just reinforced even more the power she already had. High damage, incredible utility, I use her daily against strong opponents. Top 5 meta 2, and top 5 relics level 30. Kayla is also prime. No introduction needed. If we had a super prime tier, she'd be in it. Her relics are strong, maybe not as impactful as some others, but yes, they reinforce even more her incredible damage. Oya is rare. She's out of the meta, and her relics are recent, but the pattern is the same, they reinforce what she already does, just better. But in my opinion, not enough to make her a useful daily hero again. Ninja Turtles, sorry to the fans, but for me, this one is ignored. The damage looks big, but it doesn't change the battle. Looks nice, performs poorly. Peach is rare. Once top meta, now situational, mostly in offense. Yes, she's incredible, but I use her situationally. Tristan is another rare, just like Oya and Peach. Once top meta, but in today's meta he is situational, almost ignored unfortunately. Lionel? It's still early to talk about him, so for now I will put him as ignored, but for sure in 2 or 3 months this hero will change completely. And finally we have Drayne. and he is a prime hero. Absolutely amazing, and the devs went wild on this warrior. And if you have his relics, in our opinion he becomes the most overpowered hero in the game with relic level 30. He is a totally different hero and moves straight to the throne of the top meta. Now on to the tank class. Aurora is ignored. She can counter Octavia lines, but she doesn't really hold the team together the way I need a tank to. Astaroth is prime. Great at soaking up damage, protecting the team, and keeping everyone alive. A daily use hero for me. And more importantly, it's actually a blessing to see one of the original heroes of the game remain in the meta after all these years. Chabba is ignored. He lost his surprise factor, and now that we can see power levels, his dirty builds don't work anymore. I've stopped using him altogether. Cleaver is ignored. The Chaos Machete is gone, and this beast needs a rework. Luther is prime. I use him practically every day. With good support, he wrecks progression teams with ease, and even Kayla Folio teams. Jiri is ignored now. She used to be great for countering Octavia, but since Tempest came out, her armor isn't needed anymore. Rufus is prime. His rework made him one of the best tanks in the game. Especially now, with mages becoming more common, he's essential. Mushy is prime. I don't use her in defense because she can fall quickly to burst teams. But in offense, she's a monster. Insane damage and regeneration over long fights. Julius is prime. The tank of tanks. Buffs, shields, and damage, he's just amazing. Corvus is ignored, same as Morrigan. Since Electra was released, they are sitting. But they will come back stronger than ever, I can sense it. And now the tank that completely rebuilt the meta, Electra. Yes, she is prime, but to me she is the god of tanks. Absolutely essential for today's meta, and with relics she's in the top 5. And in my opinion, after Drayne, she's number 2. Let's continue with the Mage class. Kai is ignored. Honestly, even after changing faction, rework, and relics, I don't use him. He has value, but I don't use him. Heidi is rare and almost ignored. In today's heavy mage and tank meta, Heidi is still useful when your prime mages are occupied and you need a hero to deal with Octavia lines, but I'm hoping for a rework to see if he can catch up with someone like Maya, for example. Orion is also prime. I like him a lot. His damage is strong, and his first artifact boosts magic penetration for the whole team. That alone makes him worth it. Mojo is funny, he went from rare to prime. I practically use him every day with BAM teams. Lilith is sadly ignored. She used to be one of my favorites, chaos and power. But nowadays, other heroes simply outperform her. Cornelius is prime. The Mage Slayer. Pair him with physical dealers, and he becomes lethal. A great counterpick. A hero that you need to build, and as soon as possible, because mages are not sleeping, they are getting stronger and stronger. Lars is prime. Welcome back, twin. His rework brought him back into the meta, and with Krista they can obliterate a team in seconds. Satori is prime. Still heavily used, especially against teams with energy-heavy heroes. He's our kamikaze hero. If he is well supported, he wipes teams. He's a top meta hero. Satori is amazing. Zesha is prime. I use her constantly. She sacrifices some ally health, but the damage she gives in return is huge. One of the most reliable long fight mages in the game. Iris is prime. Huge damage, she can take out an entire team fast. And since her relics, she's back to defense again and an absolute chaos to deal with. The relics and the rework reinforce even more her skills and her damage. Folio is the king of Prime. He is everywhere and needed everywhere, and this completes, in our opinion, the top 5 relics level 30. Folio is Folio. Simple. On to the Marksman class. Kira is, well, completely ignored. I remembered her now while doing my list. Daredevil is ignored. Just doesn't impress anymore. Plenty of better options now. Fox is rare. I still use her in offense, especially against Octavia lines. Her stun and blind can be real game changers. Ginger is rare. She's good, but Lara and Astrid outshine her. Still a solid fallback when the others are unavailable. Dante is Prime. One of my favorites, defense, offense, doesn't matter. His arrows disrupt enemy formations and keep things chaotic. And his relics brought him back into the meta, where he was a bit out for a few months. Relics make him amazing and a super damage dealer. Not top 5. But top. Dark Star passed from Prime to ignored. I completely forgot when was the last time I needed her. Artemis is ignored. Even with her rework, she just doesn't perform like she used to. Sorry, fans, old fart is out of meta. Jew is rare. His relics brought him back to PvP and made him actually amazing, useful, and much more dangerous. Astrid is rare. I still use her occasionally, but she's almost ignored now. Isaac is Prime. One of the best at controlling enemies and protecting allies with shields. A real meta-defining support damage hybrid. Cascade is Prime. Brilliant design. Smart, efficient, and dangerous. One of the most effective heroes for formation control and raw damage. Still useful in today's meta. Lara Croft is Prime. A self-sufficient damage machine. Doesn't need much support, buffs herself and hits hard. Another top-tier pick. But yes, she's almost moving toward the rare position. And now, the final category, the support class. Jet is ignored. Not because he's bad, but because others do his job faster and better now. The game's pace has changed, and Jet just doesn't fit it anymore. Helios is Prime. The critical hit counter. You don't always see his work, but it's there, punishing enemies who rely on crits with brutal force. Krista is Prime. Thanks to her rework, she's gone from forgotten to essential. Great damage, great control, fantastic job, devs. Nebula passed from Prime to Rare. Yes, I still use her, but not so frequently. Celeste is rare. I like her, but she's unpredictable. Her light and dark forms can be helpful, but they also make her a risky choice at times. Amira is Prime. Tons of damage. Honestly feels more like a mage than a support. She shines in long fights with the right backup. Fafnir went from Prime to Rare, almost ignored. Our good Great Dragon has been losing space over the months, and now he feels situational in today's meta. Octavia is Prime. She changed the meta entirely. Buffs dodge, revives old heroes, empowers the whole team. Probably the best support right now. In our opinion, she will always be a Prime hero no matter what heroes will be released. Soleil is Prime. Fantastic hero. Buffs and protects allies with his halo, definitely a support worth investing in. Tempest is Prime. A masterpiece by the devs. All his skills are useful, and his time stop ability creates perfect windows for your team to strike. Great hero. Sebastian is Prime. I love this hero. Protects against curses and stuns, boosts crits, and converts crits into pure damage. An incredible support. Alvanna is rare. Not used often, but still valuable. He offers regeneration and slows the front lines, helping to keep your team safe. But with his Relics release, he has been a good surprise, and maybe next time we talk about this, he will be prime. And finally Miyu. Still too early to talk about her properly, so I would be unfair to her. But for now, I would put her as rare. Let's give her time to grow. And there you have it, Guardians, the Olympus Alliance tier list. We all have our personal preferences, and this one is mine. Do you agree? Or do you have heroes you would push even more? Let me know in the comments, let's talk about it. We all love a good debate. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to tap that bell, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update from Olympus Alliance. Stay sharp, stay strong, and as always, salute and friendship.